ever been minding your business and then all of a sudden you have a sudden memory of something super embarrassing that you did years ago? Well, in my case, today I was reminded of the time that I fainted on a job interview. So I was recommended to this job by my classmate in culinary school. It was a restaurant that he worked at, and he told them all about me. He told them that he respected my attention to detail, my style of pastry, and he thought that I would be a really good fit for the restaurant. Well, they called me in for a stage. If you don't know what a stage is, it is basically a working interview where you go to the restaurant, you go into the kitchen, and you basically make a bunch of stuff that's on their menu to kind of allow them to see what your skill level is like. So they had me working on something called creme anglaise, and I don't even remember what kind of creme anglaise it was. I think it was no, it wasn't butterscotch. It was some sort of creme anglaise. I think it was like regular vanilla bean. And it was a small kitchen. I had my chef uniform on. It was hot in the kitchen. It was small. I was working on an induction burner, and I was making this gigantic pot of creme anglaise. If you know anything about creme anglaise, you can't walk away from it when you are making it. And so I was standing over this pot of creme anglaise for a while, waiting for it to thicken up and, get to nappe. For those of you who don't know, nappe is about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And I started to feel like I was overheating. I felt lightheaded. I felt faint. I felt nauseous. And I was like, oh no, I don't got much time before I'm about to faint. I need to go into the walk-in, which is the refrigerator. I need to go into the walk-in to stand in there for a little bit so I can cool off. And me and my brain agreed that this was a fantastic idea. And so I turned to go walk into the walk-in because I don't have a choice. I have to leave this creme anglaise or I'm cooked. Well, I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the walk-in. I woke up on the floor, and I woke up looking up to worried faces asking me if I was okay. And I was like, wait a minute, what happened? You ever pass out so good? Your eyes are only closed for a few seconds. I was in there dreaming, okay? I don't even remember what dream I had, but I managed to have a full-on dream while I was passed out on the and if you know anything about back of house, like kitchens, restaurant kitchens, the floor is concrete, baby. As I opened my eyes to these women's horrified faces standing over me, I started to get mad because I'm like, what are y'all doing standing around looking at me? Don't y'all got jobs to do? I was embarrassed, okay? I was just thinking to myself, oh, I need to get up. But I mean, who knows how long I was on the floor. They took me into the main seating area. Thankfully, I was doing my interview during a time when it was slow. It was like in between lunch and dinner time. So the restaurant was empty. And the owner was out there, the owner being the famous person that everybody comes to this restaurant for. She was sitting out there on her computer and, she was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And they sat me down on like in the booth sort of next to her. And if you've ever fainted before, you got to chill for a little bit because you're going to your body wants to faint again. And that's what was happening to me. I was sitting on the booth and I could not keep myself upright. And what's crazy to me is this entire day could have been an episode of That's So Raven, okay? Just picture that in your mind, the absurdity of what I was going through on that day, because she was on her computer, not even noticing the struggle that was ensuing next to her. I was struggling to hold myself upright. Like she was talking and she didn't even notice. She was telling me this story, trying to make me feel better about fainting on a job interview. And she was telling me about a story where she was staging for like this famous chef in New York, and she did something super embarrassing. I don't even remember what all she said because I was like struggling to stay conscious, but it was a mess. And I went home. They had to give me a workers' comp certificate so I could go to urgent care and make sure I wasn't like concussed. But anyway, they emailed me asking me if I wanted to come back in for another stage, and I never responded because I was so embarrassed. Oh my gosh. So I don't know. I don't think I wanted to work there anyway. The kitchen was too hot and it was too cramped, and standing over that giant pot of creme anglaise, that's what did me in. So yeah, that's the time that I fainted on my job interview. Very definitely a 2 out of 10 experience. Wouldn't do that again.